All right, you know what we forgot?
Yeah. Helmet.
Morning, everybody. I'm Adam with Mellor Woodworks. We are back inside in Blanchard, and we are doing blocking. So we are this close to getting into sheathing our roof, but we have some holes just from naturally the way post frame works, and we need to get those filled. So we do it with blocking. So that's what we're doing right now, is filling up a few holes, some blocking. We'll get some close-up shots for you so you can see exactly what we're talking about. And after that, we should be able to start rolling with sheathing today, which I'm excited about because shade. So what Malachi has going on here is we are just doing some simple blocking just to close up this bay, because once we get the sheathing on here, there'll be a gap right here. So we're just closing it off with a piece of wood. It's not structural, literally just closing off that gap, and its only purpose is to stop the spray foam from coming out right here. This gap right here, about 3.5 inches, is way too much for spray foam. And it will just pour out. It'll eventually collect up, but we'll spend probably $25 a hole just filling it. So this blocking just kind of gives the spray foam something to grab onto and to fill in the gaps and cracks around and whatnot. But you have to watch what you're doing, so you have to keep your eye in here so that you can see if your blade's on this or not. If your blade's scalping this, then you're good. We are into the next step of our build. We got the posts and the girts up. We got our footers in. Now, before we put any sheathing on the walls, we have to get our window boxes in. So we have to know where to place them. So we look at the blueprints and we mark out in each bay where all these windows are gonna go. And then we simply install the windows. This is not a very long process. It should just take us the day. In you go, little guy. In you go, little guy. Keep going, you little guy. All right. Got it? All right. Right there. That's what I like. But before you put the sheathing on, you have to put your window boxes in, because the window boxes are going to attach on this side of your girt, and the sheathing's going to attach to this side of your girt. So if you put your sheathing on and then try and put your window boxes on, you don't know where to screw or nail it in. So it's always good to put your window boxes on first, so that way you can get a good positive connection with your fasteners before you put your sheathing on. So we're that far from there, and now we need to go 36 inches over, because that's our window width, or at least the rough opening. Our window is actually 35.5 inches wide. Do a rough opening of 36, so that way we have a 1/2 inch of space, which means a 1/4 inch of space on either side, so that we can plumb the window up, make sure the window is perfectly plumb and straight up and down. Just gives us a little bit of wiggle room. Gotta do maths, because there's 2 windows going in here. So my bay is 91.5 long. So 91 inches and a half minus a 36 inch wide window minus a second 36 inch wide window leaves me with 19.5, and with 2 windows that's going to leave me 3 gaps. So divide 19.5 by 3, that's 6.5 inches. So watch out, Ken, you're in the shot. Hit your head again, why don't you? Tall boy problems. All right, so we're gonna go 6.5 from the side, and then we're gonna go 36 to there. I got a couple marks here, so I'm gonna make this one longer, so that way I know that's my right one. And then another 6.5 inch space, and then another 36 inch window. And then that leaves me with 6.5 down there. Simple maths. Chunky. It's a good combination for heartburn in the construction world. Old and chunky. That and coffee. Pretty simple vibes going on here. This little tool, I think is like $9, and it spins. It takes your rebar tie. Your rebar ties have 2 hoops on the end. So you just put your rebar tie underneath each intersection, bend it up, hook on, stand on your rebar because you have to pull up on this when you're twisting. All that does is just keep the rebar together so it's not flailing all over the place. When the concrete's getting poured, it keeps things stronger when they're tied together. Full of heartburn. It's probably the pizza last night. I ate that whole thing. Today are getting started on our sheathing. So we are using a zip system. It's the green zip system. They're 7/16 thick. It's a structural 1 panel, which means that you can put it pretty much in any orientation. And it will be super strong as long as you follow the recommended nail pattern. When the nail pattern on the top, since I have my butt joint over here, they have all these black ticks painted on. That's your nail pattern. So on a seam, we hit every single one of those. Bam, bam. And then in the middle, we have all these squares and circles. The squares are, I believe, 24 on, yeah, the squares are 24 inches on center, and then the circles are 16 inches on center. And they put a bunch on here so that you can kind of follow the pattern. But since I know my girts are 24 inches on center, center, so that is 24 inches. That is 24 inches. I can hit every single one of these squares, and I know I'm hitting my girt because that shows me that I'm 24 inches on center. I missed. And that's it. That's the whole shebang for that, that one piece of sheathing. So we take that, go all the way down with it. And then we come back, and then we put our next board up top is gonna be 2 feet over. So it's gonna split this one and then come over here so that my seams don't line up all the way up the building. That just makes it a tidbit stronger. And that's the plan. So 1 down, 75 more to go. The zip system comes with a green painted on barrier. It's called the WRB barrier, water resistive barrier. What's up, everybody? It is concrete day at the Barndominium in Blanchard. We've got Genesis Concrete with us today, and they are pouring it in through our windows. And we getting about a 6 to a 5-inch slab inside this building. We'll get this thing wrapped up today. We'll get a nice slick finish on it. It'll be nice and level. We're actually going to be gone from this site for probably about 3 to 4 weeks before we come back. That's good though, because that gives this slab time to cure properly before we bring our scissor lift inside on it.